Yes, good evening to everybody. Welcome to the class. This is the AIBE 16th cohort 2029. And I made it very much clear from the Bar Council of India today. I sent the email as well as I spoke to them. The exam is on 31st October 2021. That means you do have at least 6 to 7 days in your hand to go through nicely. Yes. And read what I posted on the screen. Anyone? Unmute and read. Quick.
Good evening. Educate patiently. Advocate passionately.
Yes, educate patiently. With the patient that you got to educate yourself, but advocacy comes over there. You should be passionately that you have to argue the case, like the passionately you love on somebody else. That's what I want to say is. Now I quickly jump over to our subject. That is the alternative dispute. Sorry, administrative lies concern, and tomorrow is the alternative dispute and arbitration MCQ tomorrow. And today is administrative law MCQ. Number one, before I could finish it, if you could give the answer, then I can stop reading. They can go to the next question because I already prepared the 40 multiple choice question in it and I would like to finish it in the span of 50 minutes. Yes. Number one, administrative law is the branch of the dash, private law, mixed law, adjective law, public law. Yes. Immediately. Because I already given the show.
Yes, sir.
Public law.
It is a public law because the feedback is already clear over there. It gives the sense to you. Actually, I should have to make it down. Okay, it doesn't matter. It is a public law because it deals with the individual to the state, state to the individual, and state to state, and the public to the public. That's why you can say the public law. And the law of evidence is the adjunctive law. As we can say adjunctive law, ADJUNCTIYLE. But the law of tort and the law of contract, these are said to be the private law. Then what about the constitutional law? Yes.
Same, sir. Public law.
It is a public law. IPC is a public law. Yes. Come to the second point is concerned question. Administrative law is the deals with the following three component except one. I say except one. A. The structure. B. Power. C. Along remedies available in the masses. D. All of the above.
C.
If the C is the answer because it is along the remedies available to the masses. It is not the masses. It is the individuals. So that is the three components means it is about the structure, power is the component, and all of the above is the component. But the one which is there is not the relevant to it, and we can say the C is the answer for that one. Okay, third question. I quote: administrative law deals with the administration of an organization, its power and duties. I unquote according to whom? Professor Dicey, Wade, Ivar Jennings, or Salman? Yes, hurry up.
Salman.
It is Ivar Jennings, he said that words, because he said administrative law deals with the administration of an organization, its power and duties. Ivar Jennings said such a word. The fourth question is, in India, administrative law was followed by all except one among them. I repeat, in India, administrative law was followed by all except one among the following. Number one, Mauryan and Guptas. Number two, Aryans. Number three, that's C, a few countries before the Christ. Number D, that's the fourth, followed by the Mughal administration. Except one, all other people followed the administrative law. Yes. What is that? Hurry up. It says, pass on, I will give the answer. Don't waste the time.
Few centuries before Christ.
No, because they also followed the administrative principle over there. Only the Aryan periods, it is not followed because Mauryan and Gupta's period followed, and the few centuries before the Christ also followed over there, and followed with the Mughal administration too. Yes, next comes the idea of administrative law is based on the following except one. Except one, I said. Yes. Please, when the class is in progress, don't say namaste sir and all those things because namaste you should say only the beginning of the class. Okay, come to the point is number 5. The idea of administrative law is based on the following except one. What is the one? A. Principle of natural justice and rule of law. It will be followed. B. Power is not given to the administrative by law. And the C. There is no absolute uncontrolled power given to the administrative authorities. D. There should be a limitation on the exercise of such powers relying upon the arrangement. Before I could finish it, you should be in a position to give the answer. Because already I put it on the screen and you are reading it. Are you following? Answer is?
Principles of natural justice and rule of law.
No. B. Power is not given to the administration by the power is not given. That is except one, because the power is given to the administration by law. Because I said not, I added. That's why I put it. That is the answer for that one. Number 6. Source of administrative law includes all except one among them. I said sources of the administrative law includes all except one among them. Number A. Constitution. B. Statutes and ordinance. C. Judicial precedents and delegated legislation. D. Commissioner and commissions.
Commissioner and commission.
Commissioner and commissions, you did not take that much time, because as soon as you see it, you should say that, because the administrative source is definitely the constitution and statutes and addition judicial proceedings, because delegated legislation, because judgment light is only the commissioner and commissions would not be there. That would come into the idea to save your time and finish in the stipulated time the 100 questions in the span of 3 hours, which starts from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. That is the timing. Okay, 7th question. Can anybody will unmute and read?
The primary task of administrative law is all except one among the below. Primary task, except one.
Yes. A. To maintain the government's power within the limits of law. B. To defend the individual's right and public interest. C. To defend the individual's duties and public interest. C. D. To defend the individual right and private interest. Which one is the right answer? There is no right should be there, only duties are there. That's why B is the right answer. To defend the individual rights and public interest, because except one, other 3 are connected with the administrative law. Okay. Next, 8th question. Today, the state works as the dash, all of them except one. What is that? Today, the state works as dash, all of them except one. Means 3 of them, the state activities. But only one is not. What is that one? Number 8.
Financial counselor.
Yes. Yes.
Financial.
Yes,
Financial.
I appreciate it. It's a financial counselor. It is not the state activity. But the state is a protector, entrepreneur, and regulator and arbitrator. 9th question. Administrative law enables us to carry a balance among conflicting forces. One among them not. I say not. One among them not, I said. What is that not? Yes, anyone? Carry a balance among the conflicting forces, not one among them. A. Individual rights. B. Public interest. C. Individual duties and private duties. D. Individual rights and public interests.
Individual duties. C.
C is the answer. Individual duties and private duties should not be there. There is the individual rights and public interest is there. Individual rights is there. Public interest is there. But the C is the answer, which is not among them. Okay, 10. Reason of the growth administrative law are based on 3 components or ingredients, but not one of them. What? Growth of administrative law. 3 components are there, but not one among them. Number A. There is an extreme change in the role played by the state. B. The legal framework was being lacked to settle a wide range of questions. C. Administrative law cannot counter minute technicalities. D. There is an option for an experiment in the administrative process. Which one is the not growth of the administrative law? The C. Administrative law cannot count actually. If the administrative law can count minute technicalities. Administrative law cannot count the minute technicalities, because if it count it, it will not grow. The reason is administrative law sometimes will not follow the criminal procedure code. It may not follow the Evidence Act, but it definitely follow the natural law. Are you following me? Yes. Now let us come to because here given there is an extreme change in the role played by the state. There is an option for an experiment in the administrative process. Administrative law can avoid the minute technicalities. See the highlighted one and see the C1 I removed. How can avoid? There is avoid is the right answer, but I found count. So that is the C is not relevant to it. Okay, that is the answer. 11th question. Can anybody will unmute and read what is the 11th question?
Administrative law is all except one among the following.
Yes. Administrative law is all except one among the following. Number one, A, judge-made law. Number two, it is generally unwritten. C, codified law. D, uncodified law. It is a very easy answer.
Generally unwritten.
No,
Uncodified.
codified law. It is not codified law. There I say codified, but it is not a codified law. Okay. Okay, next. 12th, I quote, one of the 6 divisions of public law. Who said? Holland, Bernard Shaw, A.V. Dicey, Friedman. Who said that? One of the 6 divisions of public law. Who said?
A.V.
Holland.
Dicey.
Holland
Dicey, sir.
said, Holland said, I quote one of the 6 divisions of public law is the Holland said. Number 13, the basic foundation of the administrative law, please listen carefully. The basic foundation of the administrative law is based on all three are basic, but not one. Which is not one? A, the principle of natural law. B, rule of law. C, it is an extremely flexible branch of law. D, it is an extremely inflexible branch of law. Yes.
Sir, D.
C,
Inflex.
it is an extremely flexible branch of law. It is too much. It is. It is an extremely inflexible branch of law. Correct. Rule of law. Correct. The principle of natural law. Correct. But C, which is not. But except all the 3 is very much relevant to that. Okay. How do you pronounce 14? Can anyone read 14? Laissez-faire literally mean A, let do you. B, let you do. C, live alone. D, alone live.
B.
It is the B, let you do. That is the right answer. Okay. Laissez-faire, I don't know how do you pronounce it. I think laissez or laissez. Anyway, the spelling is L-A-S-S-E-Z. Laissez-faire. F-A-I-R-E, fair. Hyphen. Is it a Latin word, Greek word, French word, German word? So much time. Even though it is wrong, doesn't matter. Shoot. You are not going to
French.
lose
It
the
is a
marks.
Latin,
French.
Latin word.
It is a French. It is a French word. See the feedback I have given. Laissez-faire, French, allowed to do, policy of a minimum government interference all the economic affairs of the individual and society. The driving principle behind the laissez-faire, a French term that is translated to live alone, literally let you do. Literally let you do is the less the government is involved in the economy, the better of the position will be, and by extension, society as a whole, laissez-faire economic is a key part of the free market capitalism. Okay, 16th question. Laissez-faire was a dash doctrine. Which doctrine it is? Is it a political doctrine, economic doctrine, social doctrine, or both A and B? So much time. It is definitely
Both A.
economic doctrine.
Both A and B.
Both A and B is the right answer. I appreciate. It is a political doctrine and as well as the economic doctrine. The 17th one is the one which is not heritage building. Shastri Bhavan, Nirman Bhavan, Rashtrapati Bhavan, Udyog Bhavan.
Rashtrapati Bhavan.
Rashtrapati Bhavan, which is not an heritage building. Yes. And next, because another point we will see it. Yeah, Madras Bar Association versus Union of India. That is one famous case law. It is impacted the
Entity.
individual tribunal, which is also called the NTI case, NTT case, or NII case, or NIT case.
NTT.
It is the NTT case, National Tax Tribunal case, actually it is. So that is a famous case. If somebody is speaking, please mute and speak. Otherwise, I could hear your voice. When you want to speak, you can unmute it. When you don't want to speak, you can mute it. Okay, let us come to the next point. Oh, they are speaking. See, they are speaking. Can I tell you who is speaking? Of course, I muted it. I want to say who is speaking. Okay, let us see because the length is it is very lengthy seat. Okay, 17 members. Yeah. Now let's go to the next point. Yes. Next question is Union of India versus Madras Bar Association. I repeat, Union of India versus Madras Bar Association. This is one of the case law in the administrative law. Is it NCLT case or NLCT case or a NTLC case or a NTCL case? It's a tribunal case. It is tribunal. It is. The
Sir,
case is National Company Law Tribunal. Means right answer is NCLT case. It's the famous known as Union of India versus Madras Bar Association is a National Company Law Tribunal case law. The another name is like we will say Bhopal gas tragedy case law. Which is the case law, please? What is the name of the case law? In the law of tort, you read it.
Union
Case law.
Carbide. Union Carbide, sir.
Union Carbide versus Union of India. That is the case law. Very famous case law. Okay, next comes to the 20. The tribunal don't have to follow any uniform procedure as laid down under 3, which one not relevant to the statement. When I was discussing, I already told you. It cannot follow the Civil Procedure Code. It cannot follow the Indian Evidence Act. And sometimes, but definitely it will follow the
C. Arbitration Act.
no. Principle of natural justice, I told you. What is the famous Latin terminology where we can say, hear the other side? Yes. If you don't know, you say pass on. Don't waste the time. The maxim.
Principles of natural justice.
Yes. What is the Latin maxim? Please don't decide unless until you hear from the other side also. Adi altrum.
The Altram pattern.
Why you are taking that much time? Okay, come to the point 21. Yes, the jurisdiction of the High Court may be abolished without impacting the jurisdiction of the Honorable Supreme Court, as has also been held in the judgment title as which case law this is there. SP Sampatra versus Union of India, SP Sampatra Kumar versus Union of India, SP Sampath Reddy versus Union of India, SP Sampath Kelkar versus Union of India. Which is the right answer? What is the case law? The jurisdiction of a High Court may be abolished without impacting the jurisdiction of the Honorable Supreme Court. Means High Court will be abolished, but Supreme Court will not be there. Has also been held in the judgment title as, the case law name is, very famous case law in the administrative law is SP Sampath Kumar versus Union of India. That the B is the right answer. Next question. Okay. Courts in various judgments have clarified that the tribunal are not courts. I repeat, courts in various judgments have clarified that the tribunals are not courts decided in the case of, yes. In which case law it is decided? Tribunal is not a court. And the 4 choices are given. L. Chandrasekhar Kumar, B. Union of India, C. Durga Shankar Mehta, D. Union of India. Answer
C.
is
Durga Shankar versus Thakur.
yes. Appreciate. Durga Shankar Mehta versus Thakur Raghuraj Singh. That is the case law will say. The tribunal is not a court. Okay, shall I proceed? Or do you want to ask anything? Please give the answer. Okay, let's come to the next 25th point, 23rd question. After the 42nd amendment, which amendment? Constitutional amendment. After the 42nd amendment, the Administrative Tribunal Act was enacted by the Parliament to provide aggrieved government official with the quick and affordable justice. In which year this 42nd Amendment has come up? Everybody knows it is the Indira Gandhi period.
D. 1986.
1985. Do you know another name for the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution? Do you know the another name for the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution? Of course, somebody, a great personality told me, because when he was delivering the YouTube class that I heard it, and they say, mini constitution. That's said to be a mini constitution, they say. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let me say, because the radical changes are made in the constitution. That's why it's a mini constitution. Okay, let us come to the 24th question. The expression tribunal, as used in dash, does not mean the same thing as a court, but includes with its ambit all adjudicating bodies, provided they are constituted by a state and vested with judicial functions as distinguished from administrative or executive functions. Which one of the article of the Constitution says? Is it Article 134, 135, 136, 137? Yes?
Article 136.
Very broad. I appreciate. It is the
Thank you, sir.
136. It is the right answer for that one. Yes, that's I already told you. Now I need not to tell it. 25th. Additor et altera pars. A. Let the first side be heard to. B. Let the other side be heard to. C. Let the other side be said to. D. Let the other side listen to. Which one is the right answer?
B.
Sir, D.
B is the answer.
See once again.
Answer
no
is
word,
B, sir.
there is no listen. Hear the other side. Means
B is
let
the answer.
B is the answer, right answer. Let the other side be heard too, because here
Yes.
the terminology is given adi alteram partem. Hear the other side, not the listen the other side. No. A legal principle of fairness, also worded as aditur et altera pars, the same meaning. Adi alteram partem. Let the other side be heard too. Means give the opportunity to the other side to say why they are late to the class. Without asking the person why you are late to the class, you should not punish the student. Is it clear? Say yes. Okay, let us come. 26th question. Which of the following writ is said to be a guarantor of your personal freedom? I said guarantor of your personal freedom. That means Article 21 to Article 19, all other things will come up. Okay, what is that?
Habeas corpus, sir.
It is nothing but habeas corpus, personal liberty. In the tort law, there is a famous tort law is there. What is that tort law? MLA. MLA was detained for the 4 days by the police. Exemplary damages are awarded. 50,000 the state has to pay. Which Jammu and Kashmir? Who is the name of the MLA? Are we forgotten, sir? Bhim Singh versus state of Jammu and Kashmir. Of course, in the constitution, there are many cases are there where it can save the habeas corpus. Okay, let us come to the 27th question. That is, which of the following writ can be used against a person believed to be holding public office, means government office he is not entitled to hold because he doesn't have the
Overrides.
I appreciate. It is a co-warranto. In what capacity that you are continuing in that position? That is the co-warranto. Okay. Now let us see the next.
Override.
Yeah. Next, 28th question. Match the following. The names of the writs in the list 1 with their meaning in the list 2. Number 1, habeas corpus. 2, mandamus. 3, certiorari. 4, co-warranto. In the right hand side, in jumbled order, I put it. A, we command. B, what is your authority? C, you may have the body. D, a writ of which order? So here I give the A, B, C, D. Then which one is right? 1B, 2D, 3A, 4C, 1B, 2A, 3D, 4C, 1C, 2D, 3A, 4B, 1C, 2A, 3D, 4B. To give the answer, it's a very easy question. Yeah. Ramya, voice is breaking. It's the D.
C is the answer.
D, yes, you are right. D is the answer. Sneha, you are right. 1C, 2A, 3D, 4D. 1C means habeas corpus. You may have the body. Then mandamus, 2. 2A means mandamus, be command. 3D, certiorari, means a writ by which order passed by an inferior court is quashed. Quo warranto, B, means what is your authority? You are continuing over there. So that is the answer for that one. Now here I have given the part A and part B. There are total 4 bits are given: estoppel, ex gratia, ex officio, ex parte. But in the right hand side, jumbled order in the part B, because of an office held, B, proceeding in the absence of the other body, C, prevented from denying, D, as favor, which is the right answer when you compare with the 1C, 2A, 3D, 4B, 1C, 2D, 3A, 4B, 1C, 2D, 3B, 4A, 1D, 2C, 3A, 4B. Which one is the right answer for that one? Yes? The answer is, sir, it is half there, half here, sir. That's why you could not see it. Now you could see.
B is the answer, sir.
B is the answer. Very good, very good. Shantka Sneha, I appreciate you got the hat trick. Because feedback
Thank
is
you,
there
sir.
given. Yeah, feedback is given. Estoppel, prevented from denying. Ex gratia, as favor. Ex officio, because of an old office held. Ex parte, proceeding in the absence of the party. Now the match the part A with their meaning part B. Part A, obiter dictum. 2, quantum merit. 3, ratio decidendi. 4, res judicata. In the part B, a matter already judged. B, principle or reason underlying the court judgment, or the rule of law on which a judicial decision is based. On C, which one has earned or the amount be deserved. D, the last one is things said to be the way. It is generally used in the law to refer an opinion or non-necessary remark made by a judge. It does not to act as a precedent. Yes. The answer is given is A. 1C, 2D, 3B, 4A, 1D, 2B, 3C, 4A, 1D, 2C, 3B, 4A, 1D, 2C, 3A, 4B. Which one is the right answer? Haraka అంటే hurry up అన్నట్టు. Answer is
B.
C. 1D, 2C, 3B, 4A. See, feedback you see here. Obiter dictum, things said by the way. It is generally used in the law to refer the opinion and non-necessary remark made by the judge. It does not act as a precedent. It is only for that case they will decide it is the obiter dictum. It cannot be used as a precedent. Quantum merit, one that has earned the amount he deserves. Suppose if a person has done the 10 days work and he will get 10,000. Suppose that person has did the only 5 days work, how much will get? 5,000. Quantum merit. So the amount he deserve, okay, that is the quantum merit. Ratio decidendi, principle or reason underlying a court judgment, the rule of law on which a judicial decision is based. And res judicata, a matter already judged. So that is the feedback. Now 31 question. What is the 31 question? We will see. Delegatus non potest delegare. That means a delegate has no power to delegate. Is well settled principle is not decided in the following case law. I said not decided in the following case law. Means one case law which will not belong to this delegatus non potest delegare. That means a delegate has no power to delegate. Sir, is a tough question. Make a choice, doesn't matter, because there is no negative marks. There is no negative marks, no minus marks.
A. Marathwada University versus Seshrao Balwantrao Chavan.
Number A, number C, D, all are relevant to the delegates, non-potestate delegate.
Okay, then answer is B.
Except B, the manager versus Selvi, it will not connected with the delegates, non-potest delegare. That is the answer. 32.
This time wrong.
Yes. 32. The first major judgment by the judiciary in relation to the doctrine of separation of powers was in dash. The court in the above case was of the opinion that doctrine of separation of powers was not fully accepted in India. What is the case law? LR Koleho versus State of Tamil Nadu. B.
Indira Gandhi versus Raj.
Ram Javaya versus State of Punjab, or all of the above. It is decided into Ram Javaya versus State of Punjab, where it is made very much clear that the judgment by the judiciary in relation to doctrine of separation of power was decided in the Ram Javaya versus State of Punjab. The court in the above case was of the opinion that doctrine of separation of the power was not fully accepted in India. Who founded the doctrine of separation of power, please? Yes. Who propounded the doctrine of separation of powers? You are taking so much time. It is a simple question which I asked you. Montesquieu. Who is he? Montesquieu. German, Englishman, French, Greek. Yes? If you know, you
Greek,
can
sir.
tell me. No, he is a Frenchman. Because that's why we can see that laissez-faire is come from the French. Okay, now Daisy criticized. Daisy is a British. He criticized the theory which is propounded by Montesquieu because it is not very much suitable. But actually, the theory of separation of power is taken from the which constitution? Australian Constitution, Japan Constitution, American Constitution, or Britain Constitution. Of course, Ireland. There is no constitution. Ireland Constitution. Answer is the theory of separation powers is taken from
Britain, sir.
no American Constitution. Okay, let us see that another 33. Power dash and absolute power tends to corrupt. What is the appropriate word there? Power dash and absolute power tends to corrupt. Which is the correct word here? Here corrupt dash should complete and here power dash should complete. There are two dashes are there. Now you fix the A changes and absolutely, B corrupt and absolutely, C corrupts and absolute, D corrupts absolutely. Which one is the correct? See that you think very closely because you should know a little grammar also here. When the subject is a first person, then the verb should be followed with the S. With the subject agreement.
D, sir.
D, sir.
It is a D is the right answer. Power corrupts and absolute power tends to corrupt absolutely. So that is the very appropriate wordings over there for the 33rd question. Now 34th question. The separation of powers is based on the principle of, which principle it is based over there? 3 politica, trio politica, thrice politica, trias politica.
Sir, geopolitica.
No, even though it is
Sir, C, sir. C, thrice politica.
No, it is also give the same thing, but it's exactly the word is used is different.
It's
Trias
a A3 Politica.
Trias politica. What is the right answer? D. D is the right answer. Trias politica. Of course, trias means here three only. Like a triangle means three angles. Trio means three. In Telugu, who are the three Kavulu? Trios. Tikkanna? Yes. Trios in Telugu. Poets. If the poets are there, Tikkanna, Madanna, Somayadilo. What is that? Sir, we don't know. But the
Errana Tikkanna Mata.
yes. That's why I want to. But trios in English novel, Indian English novel. Trios. Indian English novel. Kantapura was written by one of the Mulk Rajanand. Yeah. R.K. Lakshman, Mulk Rajanand, Raja Rao. They are called a trio English, Indian English writers. Okay, now let us come to the point 35. The principle of separation power found its genesis in the Irish Constitution, French Constitution, American Constitution, British Constitution. Actually, there is no.
American Constitution.
It is an American Constitution. Actually, we don't say British Constitution. Do you think that
It's an American Constitution.
it is an American Constitution is the right word? Because I removed here. Oh, it has gone. Okay, let me come. 35 question, no? This is 35 question. Yes. So it is the American Constitution, we can say. Can you tell me roughly how many articles, how many sections are there in American Constitution? Just rough idea. Sir, sir, American Constitution. A small booklet. See, I don't know whether you could see my hand or not. Small booklet is there, this much. I think hardly it is less than 20 to my knowledge. Either 12 or 16 something, less than 20 would be their sections. But anyway, let us see it. Yes. Do you want to contribute anything? But India is the largest democracy in the world. The largest constitution in the... Yes, mute. I'm getting the sounds. When you want to speak at the time, you can unmute it. Okay, let us come to the next point is the doctrine of separation of power was systematically propounded by Montesquieu in his book, The Spirit of Laws. B. Plato in his book, The Social Contract. C. Aristotle in his book, The Spirit of Laws. D. Montesquieu in his book, The Constitution.
D. Montesquieu in his book, The Constitution.
No, Montesquieu in his book, The Spirit of Laws.
Shit.
Montesquieu in his book, The Spirit of Laws is the right answer. That means A is the right answer. Okay, the feedback here, I will read you that. It was the Montesquieu who for the first time gave it the systematic and scientific formulation in his book, Esprit des Lois, that means Spirit of Laws, published in the year 1748. In that book that he has made. But a question may be asked also, what was the book written by the Montesquieu? They will give the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And at the time they can give Esprit des Lois with some change in the spelling. They will give the another 3 options. But the spelling you should have to keep in the memory. That is the Esprit des Lois is the Spirit of Laws, the book which was written by the Montesquieu. And he's a French. The word has come from the French. Okay, let us come to the next 37 point. The function of the executive can be classified as delegated legislation, quasi-judicial function, or discretionary function, or all of the above.
Sir, all of the above.
The answer is all of the above is the right answer. The reason is the delegated legislation is there in the executive bodies, and a quasi-judicial nature this is. And discretionary functions also given over that one, but not not flexible. Inflexible, it will be given over there. That's why we can say all of the above is the right answer for the question. Now, next, what you are referring to is the institution of the ombudsman as an arbiter for the parliament instituted in Sweden in which year? Yes?
B, sir.
Repeat. Jyoti, repeat.
1808, sir.
No, 1809, that is the C is the right answer. See, the same questions you can put it in a different style. See, I will give you that. Suppose the say ombudsman is the concept taken from the which country? Yes, Sweden. Ombudsman. Acha, ombudsman for where? Where it will come? What is his duty? When the government organizations are there, are you following me? When there is a corruption, is it? What the
Lokpal, Lokayukt,
in the bank transaction
Lokpal,
ombudsman?
In
Lokpal,
banks also, sir.
Bank
Lokal, your
transaction
Lokayukta and then
ombudsman.
banks also.
But in the state government, if anybody that corrupt means that comes a lokayukta.
Niti Aayog, sir.
If
Niti
anybody,
Aayog.
yes, if anybody's human rights are violated, it comes under the Telangana State Human Rights Commission. Who is the chairman of the commission now?
Chandrasekhar.
No, Gunda Chandraya. Huh? His full name is?
Chandrasekhar.
Yeah. Chandra sir means Honorable Justice Gunda Chandraya garu. Yes, he is the chairman of the Telangana State Human Rights Commission, which is nothing but Guruvakalpa. That is the Telangana State Public Service Commission behind building opposite to the Gandhi Bhavan. Sir, do you know everything? No, I am giving the address to you. Okay, 39th question. The tortious liability in the state was not recognized in which one of the cases? State of Rajasthan versus Vidyavati, Kasturilal versus State of Uttar Pradesh, State of Gujarat versus Miman Muhammad Haji, and the Railway Board versus Chandrima Das.
Sir, C.
Yes,
C.
read the question. The tortious liability of the state was not recognized. Not, not. In which of the following cases? Vidyavati state is held liable, and state of Gujarat versus Miman Muhammad Haji state is liable. Railway board Chandrima Das state is liable. But in Kasturi Lal, that a gold merchant, and the police seized the gold and put it in the Mal Khana, that the treasury in the police station. But a policeman took the gold and fled away. But the state say it is a sovereign function. Oh, please, mute. I'm getting a lot of sound. Mute. Those who unmuted it, please mute it. I'm getting the sound. So now the question comes over here. The Kasturi Lal case, they say it is a sovereign function. They say state is not liable. But later on, the other cases, the Kasturi Lal case was bypassed. Now the position is there. There is no such a distinction. We can say the statutory, that is the sovereign powers and non-sovereign powers, because state is like an individual. How an individual can be sued, a state can be also sued. Of course, certain state immunities are there. Okay. And you know the railway board versus Chandrima Das case la, the railway Nilayam, Calcutta, Bangladesh lady, she was gang raped. Very famous case la this is. So it is not only applicable to the citizens, it may be applicable to the other countries also, because she was raped. Who is she? She is a Bangladeshi woman. I don't know whether you remember the case or not. See, participants, when you want to speak, at that time you can unmute it. When you don't want to speak, at that time you can mute it. So that is the principle that you have to apply. Yes, I could see that who are the people that remembered this. Still, the 5 minutes video you have in your hand. Ramya is present, Premla is present, Jyoti is present, Kannaya is present, Chandra Sneha. Today she got the hat trick. Anjanaya Kakan is present, Abba Sunita is present, Hassan is present, and 1121, 18 series is present, 1055 series is present, 1118, I think this is the Dr. Saab, I believe, and he is present over there. Yes. Now let us come to the last question, that is the 40th question, the case of Air India. And I believe that you know that Nargiz Mirza. Who is she? She is a Please tell me. If not, you say pass and I will give the answer.
Actress.
Air hostess. Yes, Nargis Mirza relating the termination of the service on ground of the first pregnancy is a classic example of what? Acting under the dictation, unreasonableness, excess of jurisdiction, or non-observance of principle of natural justice. Which one is the right answer?
D.
Actually,
Non-observance of
to
principle.
me also I give the D is the right answer, but D is not the right answer. What they said, no, it is unreasonableness. Do you know this
B.
case law? Actually, case law. Suppose if you are becoming a pregnant and you are not eligible to continue as a air hostess. So that was
Oh.
the thing which they put it over there. And before that one, there was one, I don't know whether Dr. Saab knows or not. If a person wants to become a air hostess, what test she has to undergo? Yes, time is up. It seems that's the reason it is closed down or came out. Yes, recording is still it is in progress, but it has come out because the time is up now and it is going to be closed. Yes, at that time there is a one test is there that is called virginity test, but now they challenged it. Why they have to go for the test? So that condition for the becoming a air hostess is removed over there. So now with this I would like to wind it up, but still 2 or 3 minutes are there, but it has come out in the recording session. Then I will stop it. Of course, sharing has come out, not the other thing has come out. Only sharing has come out. Yeah. Okay, now if you want to ask any question that you can ask me, because today I prepared the 40 questions in a hurry manner that I did it, but in the administrative law, they may definitely ask, I told you in the last class. Who are the 4 authors which I told in the last class? Anyone who is present now can narrate what are the 4 authors which I made it? One is Ivar Jennings, another is Wade, yes, another is Dicey, David Dicey, another is Broadman, if I not be mistaken. Because these are the people, those who are given the definition of a administrative law. And you have to remember it. Plus, whatever the administrative law, maxims, like what maxim that I told you just before. Let you hear the other side also. What is the maxim?
Adi altrum partem.
There is another word also I used over there. Can you tell me what is that? For me also it's a difficult for me.
Adi alters and
No, that is another word.
Adi altrum
Another thing
pars
which I made it.
pars.
Here, because
Sir, lysizer.
yeah. Here, that I will show you that where I made it.
Adi altrum pars, sir.
No. There is another word is there. It is belong to the same. It will give the same. Yes, I got it. Adiator et altera pars. Adiator et altera pars. I repeat. Adiator et altera pars is nothing but adi altrum partem. Either this can be asked or that can be asked. Don't be confused over there, because that also gives the same sense. Like an Indian proverb is there, and I'm sure that you know, a sound mind is in sound body. A sound mind is in sound body. That is the Indian proverb. But then you know the African proverb, a healthy mind is in healthy body. Repeat, a healthy mind is in healthy body. In the same manner, we can